how others' opinions shape my career. Early on in my career, they were a huge impact, but through the last 5 years, what I've realized is my opinion matters most, and my dreams and aspirations matter more than any other's opinion. And so that has been a huge shift in my own personal journey.
Do others' opinion shaped my career? And I'm going to answer later in my career, yes. And those would be the people who matter most to me. I consider them stakeholders in the future of my career. And so their opinion does influence my choice. And I do have to take that into consideration.
I was told early on in my career by a supervisor that I would never get anywhere by being nice. And that was her opinion. And I've worked for decades trying to prove her wrong. And I think I've done that. So the only opinions that matter to me right now are the opinions of the doctors that I serve and coach, so I can best meet their needs.
So how do opinions of others fit into my life? I always appreciate curiosity, wisdom, feedback, especially for those who are important in my life. And opinions I'll receive and hear, I have to be the loudest voice in my own head. And so I use all of that information to help inform my thinking. But at the end of the day, I have to be the one who shapes how my life and my career move forward.
So I think earlier on in my career, I did care a lot about what other people thought. And during my journey and kind of evolution, that has gotten less and less. And so I think typically now what I love to do is talk with a lot of people, build that relationship and get people's opinions on certain matters or decisions that I'm thinking about making. But I think ultimately everyone, said it very well, which is I'm the one that is making my own decision. So I think that's very helpful.
I would say that I don't necessarily take into account other people's opinions so much as I will seek out advice and wisdom from other people, but I've always been one to travel my own road and not do necessarily what's conventional and figure out what I really want and go after that.
Now that I've been practicing for a while and my own family has grown, I have realized that what really matters to me is if I'm doing things every day that I can share with my husband and my girls. And so now what I value the most is that my close family unit is in support of what I'm doing every day.
Okay, so other people's opinions. For the most part, no. I learned a long time ago that at least as to unsolicited opinions, they're basically given for the benefit of the person giving it as opposed to you who's receiving it. Therefore, not much weight there. On the other hand, I will solicit the opinion of someone who I think has value to add, and I'm happy to listen to that.
So when I get asked about whether or not people's opinions matter, I often find myself talking to students, whether it's medical students, PA students, NP students, nursing students, whatever kind of students. And I tell them, choose your mentors wisely, because those are the people that will determine largely your career path. And for those of you that think that that's not the case, I would challenge you to think about why you chose the path that you did and who the people were that showed you that that path was cool and there was something really neat about it, something really interesting. It was that individual or that group of individuals that showed you, hey, here's something that's worth looking at. When you think about it, there are plumbers out there who love plumbing toilets. That's not something I would do, but somebody showed them that was really neat. There are people out there that empty out all kinds of things that I wouldn't want to be involved in, but somebody showed them it was cool. So I think those opinions really do matter, especially in the formative stages of your career, because the person that shows you that something is cool will likely have a really big impact on where you go.
I agree with some of the sentiments that have been shared already. Others' opinions definitely had a more prominent place in the beginning stages of my career. And then as I was able to find the types of work that really motivated me from a marketing perspective, was able to expand my horizons into medical education and where I am now, which feels like a really great combination of things that I'm naturally talented at and also a role in where I'm able to make a difference. So I think that listening to those opinions early on was able to help formulate the career woman I am today.
When I think about other people's opinions, what I know to my core is that early in my career, other people's opinions were devastating to me. They left me with imposter syndrome and resentment and doubt. And as I've matured through medicine, I now seek out people who have high vibration. And by that, I mean high emotional intelligence, and they're living in alignment. And those are the opinions that I listen to now, and the others just don't touch me. Not at all.
When I think about opinions, how it affects my career, it has gone full circle. When I was a junior faculty, everybody's opinion means everything to me. And then I swung opposite where only my opinion matters. And now I've gone full circle to realize that there's actually a nuance there where somebody's opinion depends on their life stage, the context, and what do I actually want and how open I am to that opinion. And so now I listen to the opinion, and the way I take on the opinion depends on listening to my heart and spirit, because I think that we as humans, we use too much of our logic, but not enough decision making through our emotions and spiritual. So in short, I do take opinions, but at the end of the day, I still make my decision based on my heart and my desires.
So, I've been doing this for 30 years almost, and what I've come to realize is that your opinion really doesn't matter unless you've developed some level of trust. And everybody has an opinion, but if you haven't established respect and trust, I think I should probably be a little leery about the information that you're sharing, and I think it's wisdom to share that. A lot of people, I think Mr. Weiss had mentioned, hey, by the way, if someone's giving me unsolicited opinions, it's probably for their own well-being. Boy, that is so true. So, but at the same time, when it comes to the actual practice of medicine, I think that we actually cut ourselves short on getting collaboration. And I think that kind of echoes into some of the passions that I have that I'll share in my minute.
I think that other people's opinions did shape my career early on, but I found, like the others said, people's opinions are more so what they feel, and people are going to be upset at primary care doctors no matter what. So I've learned that I need to focus on what I think and what my family thinks and do the best for them that I can and not worry about what other people think.
Others' opinions, do they matter? Just like everyone else, I think I used to care much more about what others' opinions are. I mean, it's inevitable that others' opinions influence our lives and our careers. The key is just in sort of how we filter them. So there's constructive feedback, which is amazing, and it can sharpen our perspective and really help us grow. But if we start defining ourselves by approval or criticism, we basically lose authenticity. I always say, take things with a grain of salt. That's one of my favorite phrases, because people will always have opinions and advice. And you know what? People will very easily love to hate you, especially as you get more successful and known. So keep that in mind as you not only, start up your entrepreneurial career, but also as you build up and actually get your name out there and get known, etc.